Good morning. It's Devorah. It's InStory Live. It's Friday morning, November 22nd. And so, what do I want to share with you this morning? So, hi Kay, the way I think about it and the way I decide has to do with what I bump into in the morning. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Leslie. So, hi, Aline. And Aline, by the way, hi, Constance. Aline is a great inspiration in our In Story Way community. So is Janice and Kay. I just love you all so much. And so Aline and I were supporting somebody who's a good friend of Aline's in the In Story show. And one of the subjects that they both brought up so beautifully is how often we don't feel like we can let our light shine. And Charlie, if you end up on here, watch. Oh, there you are, Charlie. Charlie made such an amazing, beautiful video bravely in the In Story show. And Charlie, you said something so, I think, so important for everybody, which is this sense that we don't feel like we can be proud of ourselves. And and that whole idea that if I'm thin or beautiful or a good speaker or very intuitive or a good healer or really good at math or whatever it is, we almost went through, there's that whole stereotype like you can't, if you're a girl who's super smart, you can't show how smart you are. Remember that old one? But we all have this weird thing. Like if I shine my light, then I'm going to make other people feel like they're not good enough and they're going to think I'm showing off. And so I really can't shine my light because then that means I'm going to be putting them down. Oy vey. And you brought your kids a TV. And so, so here's the thing. It's like a paradigm shift, kind of. I've been thinking about this so much about what it is that makes us shut ourselves down and not let our light shine. And I think we just got a lot of negative feedback. And I think what's happening now is I don't know, like there's just some kind of an opening where we're becoming able to understand, I don't know, maybe how this, like we all say, like when we shine our light, it doesn't actually diminish other people's light. It empowers them to find and shine their own light. But here's the thing, we have to first find each other. Those of us who are willing to do this work, who are open and warm and supportive, because when we do, when we find each other, then what happens is the feedback like this, the feedback we give each other rewires that old messaging. Hi, Helen. Right? We have this old messaging that says all these not good enough, don't shine your light, what's wrong with you, you're different, you're broken, something's wrong with you. Like if you watch the InStory show, you will see this theme go through so many of the experts on the show. And the ones who are my professional experts, they tell the story of how they got through it. And now they're using their shiny, natural, authentic selves and gifts as like the work in the world. And I was listening to someone else, I forget the name now, who was being interviewed, and he does some kind of it's like a cartoonist writer, somebody who does like a spontaneous talk in the mornings, but like with Periscope on Twitter, like in a whole different platform. But he said he also loves getting up in the morning and saying what he thinks, and that it's good for him. And honestly, one of the things that this In Story Live does for me is every morning I gotta go, how do I raise up my vibration? What am I thinking about? How do I do that? Hi, Constance. Constance says, like an empath, it's important to trust our light and become impervious to judgment. Oh my gosh, Constance, you're so right. Constance, I interviewed you on I think on the last In Story show. Right. we're learning a new way. Okay, this is a big part of what's happening. Is we're learning a new way of trust. I think, Constance, you're bringing up like trusting that we are empathic, that we do shine our light, and when that illuminates something for someone and they find that hard, it doesn't make us shut down anymore. Our light holds us strong in that place of light. So here's another thing I've been thinking about. I'm going to be giving a talk on Saturday night to my Jewish community, which I don't get to do very often. So I'm very excited about it. And I'm integrating some very old source teachings in my Jewish world that are very woo-woo at the same time, which I just love that. You know, they're expanded teachings from ancient sources. And so one of those is, in our Jewish world, is this idea that one of the goals of a human in this physical body we're in is to become close to God. And you can use the more expanded words for God, but the question is, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you become more consciously aware of your connection to the higher realm, to the spiritual, to that realm has a lot of names, and I've coined the term spiritual imagination in the work I do because it helps to alleviate theological and scientific problems, and it allows us to enter this realm of closeness to the divine, to this higher realm that we have so many names for because there's not just one name for it. But here's what's important. If you pay attention to what really brings you joy, it's that expanded consciousness realm. When you see something beautiful that brings tears to your eyes, when somebody inspires you, when you feel love, there's this inner place that can once you know how, you can always access it and connect to joy and love and closeness to this other beautiful realm. And what happens is it makes it so that we're not so dependent on outer feedback, right? Judgment, approval, all of that. We become less dependent on that in order to feel good. So stay with me here, right? So it's like this ability to have source nourishment, like from our inner being, from our soul, from God. For a lot of us, it was almost trained out of us, if you think about it. Like, think about school. Like, this is one of my soapbox subjects. Because I worked in schools for a long time. I always called it like infiltrating the system. But think about it. So often in school, everything to do with inner work, feeling, imagination, daydreaming, sensitivity was shut down, and you were told to be quiet, do what you were told, get the right answer, and stay in line. Literally stay in line energetically and stand in line. I just hate putting people in. I got fired from my job. I practically got fired because I wasn't committed to having kids stand in line, so to speak. Like, it's holding us into such a contracted state that we lost our trust in our deep, creative, amazing, expanded selves. And almost everyone I interview remembers a time when they were young of being that creative, intuitive, inspirational, wild, loving, crazy, delightful person, and then having to shut it down. And then the good part is you get to have it back. You get to have it back, and that's what we're doing right now. We get to have it back. And Charlie, I love that. I think Charlie says it's like you're reading my soul, and I think that's what we become able to do for each other. Because Charlie, you showed up not hiding, and that's the theme of my whole InStory show right now, is to come out of hiding and be seen. And look what happens when you do that. More light comes out in the world. It's just the coolest thing ever. What can I tell you? And I really mean it. And so that's why I do the InStory show. That's what my whole year InStory Way program is all about. And I'm doing actually a how do you move forward workshop. I'm doing a free workshop on this coming Monday. I'll post the link for it also in Facebook. And if you're on my email list, you'll get that. And if you're part of the InStory show, you'll get it. But I'm doing a free workshop to help people kind of build, like, start that rewiring process about your value and your worth, and that it's worth the time and energy and investment and commitment to do the deep work to be able to share your light with the world and to rewire and heal those old negative voices and feelings and thoughts and everything. I promise you, it's possible. It's really possible. I mean, you can talk to Aline or Janice or Kay or any of the women who are speakers on the InStory show about this. It's so exciting. And I believe we're in times that are calling us forward. And you start to see, Charlie, like what you're saying, that when you kind of bravely share your insights, it opens the way for others and for more light. It's just super cool. Makes me excited. And when I was listening to this I forget his name right now, but a cartoonist being interviewed, and he was saying how much he loves doing his posts with coffee with him, like in the mornings, and it's how great it is to do something you love. And I love this work so much. It's just amazing. When you share your heart, your soul, your light, your joy with others, it's the coolest thing ever. And that's what I want for all of you. I want you to be able to share your light with the world, because when you do that, it lights you up and lights up the world. Like I call it the InStory way to create and live an illuminated life. Like, what's better than that? And so that's what I want for you. I want you to be able to share your light and feel like you can create and live an illuminated life, that you could be shiny. So I often talk about like getting on your soapbox. So that's what I do. Every morning I just get on my soapbox and I just share it out with you guys. And I want you to do that. I want you to do that. Let your shininess show. So that's my kind of theme for today, is to feel that closeness to God, to that other realm, and to let your light shine. Today, your challenge is to shine your light or to talk about it. If you're part of the InStory show, post something in there. Put a comment here. Sign up for my workshop. Help a friend. Do something to shine your light, to stretch yourself. A big nudge to move forward. Okay? I really want you to know that you are worth it. That you are worth it, and that you can shine your light and make a difference in the world. I really believe this is being asked of us, and that we truly can do this. I really mean it, okay? So message me, post, comment, shine your light, let me know what you're up to so that I can cheer you on. Because honestly, this is another big piece, is we need this new feedback in order to rewire the old messaging that we got. So let me know how you're doing. Have an amazing weekend. Shabbat Shalom for those who, like me, observe Shabbat. And as always, remember to go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, everybody.